What's up, everybody? How the hell are we? Happy Thiago Day to each and every one of you, but the good news doesn't stop there. As you can see from the breaking news icon below me, Diogo Jota is very close as well. I nearly said Diego Jota. Diogo Jota is very close as well. I hope you like the intro to tonight's stream. I hope that you're all keeping well. Thiago Alcantara. Go on, son. Gets in there. The Reds have sealed it, ladies and gentlemen. Deal done. You've seen the images. We'll go through them. We'll talk about it tonight. We'll talk about Jota. We'll talk about Kylian. We'll talk about Sarr and lots of other bits and pieces in between. How are you? I hope that you're all well. I hope that you're all ready to have a little bit of fun. Because you know what? That's what this show is all about, ladies and gentlemen. How are we out there in the real world? I hope you're all keeping well. So much happy stuff to get through tonight. You've seen the images, I'm sure, but we're going to go through them as well. I know what you're thinking. Is this Thiago presenting the stream? Now relax, not quite. I'm trying to pull that one off, by the way. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to say to people, look, there's a spitting image there. Do you know what I mean? It's like Thiago let himself go. One of those type of situations. How are we, ladies and gents? How great was it, by the way, to see Thiago there today, gleaming in that red shirt, big gold badge bulging off his chest. Beautiful to see. Loads to get through, as I said. Hit 46k as well. The good news keeps on coming here on Anfield Agenda. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and strap yourselves in for an hour or so of absolute bedlam, ladies and gentlemen, because that's all it's going to be. That is all it's going to be. Right, look, let's start off with some Thiago pictures, because I know you guys are all excited. We'll await the chat to fill up a little bit more. Paul Chapman, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy, the newest member to the family. Lovely to see you. Make sure you use those emojis, and I hope to see you in the Discord group as well really soon. Look, it has been confirmed today, as you guys know, ladies and gentlemen. Thiago is a red. He is going to wear the number 6 at Liverpool. Let's have a little look at Thiago's day today, shall we? Let's have a look at some pics of Thiago. Look at him. Which Thiago do you like the most, ladies and gentlemen? Personally, I think he can pull off all three. I think he can pull off all three shirts, and I've yet to see one of the lads do that. He just looks fit for Liverpool, doesn't he? That badge just looks perfect on his chest. So which Thiago do you like? I mean, it's no coincidence that he's swapping one club that's won 6 for another club that's won 6. Little glance down onto his shoulder there. You see the 6 on the jersey. Farewell, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. I hope that you're well. Craig the Irish Thiago, somebody said, I'll take it, mate. Even my wife won't let me have it, but you know what I mean? What else have we got from Thiago? There he is, signing his contract. There I am doing a few keepy uppies just to keep you on your toes there. Do you know what I mean? He looks fantastic, doesn't he? And he genuinely looks really happy to be here. Hearing about him earlier on, talking about the vibe from the club that he wanted to get with regards to a family feeling and stuff like that, you genuinely get the belief that he's here not to mess around. He's here to win stuff. He wants to finish his career. I think he's won 9 league titles in something like 10 seasons so far in his career. Absolutely fantastic. And let's see some more Thiago. There he is, walking out onto the hallowed turf of Anfield as well. I think if I'm right, that's actually his profile, not his profile picture, his header on his Twitter account now, if my memory serves correct. There's loads to get through tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about Sarr, we'll talk about Jota, we'll talk about Hoover and some more outgoings as well, but we can't not start off the night with some Thiago love. And the last picture we have there, Thiago in the 6, in the red shirt. He looks absolutely magnificent, doesn't he? He looks magnificent. Which one's your favourite? Right, look, there I am. Look, I'm back again. Let's get through this, ladies and gentlemen, because we do want to get straight into it. Thiago love, we'll talk about Thiago, but there was breaking news today that shocked us out of nowhere. The day started off, we heard the news that Kylian looks like he could be on his way to Wolves, and we're all a little bit shocked on this one. I mean, the fee looks pretty reasonable from Liverpool's perspective. We're talking about 10 million quid for a player that I think we bought for 90 grand or something like that, so very good business from the club's point of view, but he is a very good player, Kylian, so I've yet to get details on if there's any buyback clause in that deal, by the way, and I've been trying to find that out all day. But the reason that this deal seems to be progressing is, of course, because of Liverpool's interest in Diogo Jota. And that came as a bolt out of the blue. I'm not going to lie to you. I tell you guys at times we get sent loads of stuff. A lot of it's spoof and some of it real. But nobody, and I mean nobody, had a clue about Diogo Jota. Nobody. It came out of the absolute bolt of the blue. But I have to be honest with you guys. When I thought about this deal, when I sat down and heard that Jota was of interest to Klopp, first of all I thought to myself, I can see it. I can see where he fits into a Klopp system. He's very disciplined. He'll tuck in if needs be, give protection to the fullbacks, and he's versatile, can play across the front three. There's so much sense to this, but look, let's be fair about it. It just came out of nowhere. It is Firmino all over again. Now, this is getting really close. This deal for Diogo Jota looks like it'll be done and dusted hopefully in the next 24 hours or so. Lots of positive vibes coming out of it. It suits both clubs because Wolves do need to get themselves a full back as well after losing Doherty, obviously, to Jose Mourinho's Spurs. So, makes sense for a number of reasons. But let me know your thoughts on this one as well, ladies and gentlemen. For me, you're talking about the price here for Diogo Jota being something about 43 million euro, something like that. I think it equates to about 38 million pound. And a lot of people are asking, is that good value for money? My honest answer here is, I don't care. I do not care. Jurgen Klopp wants the player. That's all I've ever wanted. If Klopp wants him, go get him. If we can afford him, pay what you need to pay. I trust Michael Edwards' judgment. I trust Jurgen Klopp's judgment. They proved us all wrong. Any of the doubters that were out there, the club, the owners, Michael Edwards, Klopp, are going out there and getting stuff done. Centre-back could be looked at as well. But let's stick with Jota for a second here. Because I know he's not as sexy as a Sarr. When we're talking about that pace to get past forwards, whip down the side, put balls in from the flank. But he is somebody that is tactically aware, somebody that's versatile, can play anywhere across the attack. And as I said, as soon as I heard the name, it was one of those like Fabinho. Oh, never thought of that, but that makes sense. And then I was even more surprised to find out that Jota was only 23 years of age. I assumed he would have been 26, 27. He feels like one of those players that have been around for a very long time. What do you guys think on this though? I mean, great window, says Andrew Wright there. And look, I can't. 24 hours. We said last night, I started the stream, I said 24 hours is a really long time in football. Another 24 hours later, not only are we talking about Thiago being unveiled, which we all knew was going to happen today, we're now talking about Diogo Jota being very close as well. It is class from the club. It is class that we just go out there, get it done, boom, no fuss. We'll talk about Sarr in a little bit as well. There was interest in Sarr, but we'll give you a reasoning as to why that deal isn't going to happen, or at least looks very, very, very unlikely to happen. I'd say it's not going to happen. Last night, we all thought Sarr was the one. We all thought Liverpool were heading in that direction. And then Jota comes out of nowhere. Interestingly enough, on Jota, I do have something I wanted to say to you guys about Jota. 1 second. He's represented by Gestifute, who I think is George Mendes' agency, and they, of course, brought Firmino to Liverpool. So the working relationship was there between Liverpool and George Mendes and this agency, Gestifute. So Melissa Reddy posted this earlier on, saying it is the same agency that we dealt with bringing Firmino from Monaco to Liverpool. Maybe hence why this was able to be kept so quiet, like the Fabinho deal. Maybe George Mendes is the go-to for keeping stuff, keeping the cards close to the chest, because no journalist, name your journalist, and none of them, no Romanos, no James Pearce, none of us had a Scooby-Doo about Jota's interest. Rabadan said, I want to cuddle Michael Edwards until we catch fire. Do you remember last night I said to you about Jonathan Norcroft put up a tweet to say that basically Michael Edwards needs to be locked up for the way he does business? He meant it in a complimentary way, of course. It's mad. It just keeps coming. How dare we ever doubt this recruitment team? How dare we? We should all be ashamed of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I already seen people today getting themselves some Thiago shirts, some Jota shirts as well, believe it or not. I've actually seen people get, which I don't know how, because I haven't got a clue what his number is, and they've just put Jota on it, which is weird, but does he even wear it? Is it Diogo or Jota that he puts on his shirt? I haven't paid that much attention to him. I haven't paid too much attention to the numbers, but then again, me, ladies and gentlemen, I have a memory like a goldfish anyway. Right, I want to go through some of your comments because the chat's moving very quickly here. Jota will be a rotational player, said Fernando Curran. He's brought in to put pressure on the front three. It's as simple as that, and that's what we need. We said all along that it's not going to be somebody who plays through the centre and out goal poacher. I said this to you guys. It was a wide forward, a versatile forward that Klopp wanted, and this looks like the ideal solution. I want to know your thoughts on the price tag though, because I have seen a little bit, I won't say murmurings of discontent because everybody's delighted at the potential signing, but there have been a few people questioning the 43 million euro price tag, which as I said is I think about 38 million pound, and I quite frankly couldn't give a shite how much it costs as long as the club can afford it. I don't know yet what way the deal is structured. What we know about the Thiago deal is that it's £5 million per year over the 4 years that he's at the club, and then another potential 5 million in add-ons depending on appearances, how far we go in the Champions League and stuff like that as well. But look, the good news as well on Thiago, and a lot of people wondering about this, is can he play against Chelsea? Yes, he has been registered. All accounts from everything that we've seen on social media and the journalists suggest that he was registered last night, so he is available to play against Chelsea at the weekend. Now, I don't envisage him starting that game. I don't even know if he'll be in the matchday squad, to be honest with you, but he will be travelling down. And Jurgen Klopp believes that he's ready to go. I mean, Jurgen Klopp spoke about it earlier on. Nothing but praise for Thiago, obviously. You could see the smile on his face. He's very happy that he's after getting the player that he wanted. And don't underestimate this signing, ladies and gentlemen. This is a statement piece of business from Liverpool. Push the money aside. The money's all dependent on the last year of his contract and stuff. We are getting one of the best midfielders in the world in the absolute prime of his career coming to Liverpool Football Club for one reason and one reason only, and that is to win trophies, because Thiago collects them, ladies and gents. 9 league titles, as I've said. He's just a serial winner and another mentality monster added to that Liverpool dressing room. Danny Riley said Thiago's getting 200 grand a week. Again, I had seen rumours that that's what he was asking United for. I've yet to see any confirmation from anyone that I would hold their opinion dearly that is his wage. But look, whatever it is, the club can obviously afford it. What have we got here? Jota done deal, same person who broke Thiago. It looks like it's a done deal. I mean, we were going to go with done deal, but what's the point? There's no point in lying. We'll do another video tomorrow if he's done, even though tomorrow was supposed to be a day off, but that doesn't matter. Thanks FSG, said Chimney, Jota as well. Right, let's talk about Ismaila Sarr for a second, because a couple of people are going to be wondering why we didn't go after Sarr. And again, Melissa Reddy spoke about this one earlier on, and she said the club had looked into the possibility of signing Watford's Ismaila Sarr, but the valuation Watford placed on him was described as exorbitant. There you go, exorbitant. That's a strong word. So, you know, we'd seen figures of £36 million, but if that was the asking price, and Liverpool are paying that for Jota, you've got to ask, was that really the asking price? Was that really the response they were getting from Watford? Because, you know, it's similar money. So to describe it as exorbitant like that, you know, it must have been a different number that the club were getting quoted. Kelly Burns, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, always have faith in the team boot room as they bring in quality when they least expect it. Klopp is a genius. And she ends it so magnificently with WFM. WFM indeed, and even more so. For those of you watching for the first time that don't know what we mean when we say WFM, it's the motto here on Anfield Agenda. It's the motto for me, it's the motto for you, it's the motto for the whole community here. And it simply means we're fucking massive. That's what it means, ladies and gents. Straightforward, straight to the point. Right, how do we feel about Jota versus Sarr? Give me a Sarr in the chat if you wanted us to go for Sarr, or give me a Jota if you're happy that we're going for the Ogo Jota. And I have to say, just ticks the boxes for me, makes sense. There's more gears to come from the Ogo Jota. I think that under Jurgen Klopp, he worked with a very good manager in Nuno there at Wolves, but I think under Jurgen Klopp's tutelage and with the players that are around him, you're going to see the versatility, the tactical acumen, and exactly why Jurgen Klopp signalled his intent to go and get this guy. Again, as I said earlier on, it just, to me, it's exactly like that Fabinho feeling when you heard that Liverpool had approached Monaco for him, then all of a sudden you're like, that makes sense. Right, let me see how you guys are feeling. It's almost a 50-50 split. I think there's a lot of love for Sarr in the chat, and I understand it. I understood the excitement about Sarr as well, but you know, the club always say that when they go in to do business, they want to get value and they want to get a deal that they believe is right for us, they believe is right for the player, and obviously that the response that they got from Watford just wasn't the right response. We had a similar response when we went to Norwich looking for Jamal Lewis. They gave us a price, they weren't willing to bend on it. Liverpool walked away. He ended up a Newcastle player. Seems to be the same here with regards to Sarr. We all thought the links with Sadio Mane, that good friendship as well, that we might see Sarr there. Links came out last night as well saying that United were interested in Sarr. Perhaps, let's wait and see. I mean, it's fun just looking at United Twitter now, by the way. Let's have a little second. Let's not bow our heads for a second just to remember the days when United were actually something that we gave a shit about. Nah, fuck it, that's long enough. I couldn't be arsed with United, to be fair. Jota because he has no weak foot. Very good comment, that. Very, very good comment. Jota more Premier League proven as well, said Nathan Lee. It's mad to think he's still only 23 as well. So this is a perfect type of Jurgen Klopp, FSG, Michael Edwards signing here, because we're getting a player that if we even keep him for 5 or 6 years, he's still going to be getting into the prime of his career at that point. I'm a bit surprised to see Wolves letting him go, if I'm being honest with you, but I'm very happy that Liverpool are looking to get it over the line. I'm going to get to Kabak. I know a lot of people in the chat, and Chimney just put a super chat in there, said thoughts on Kabak as our backup centre back. I will be touching on him in a couple of minutes, don't worry about that. There's loads for us to get through though tonight, folks, and I want your input on this stream because it is all about you guys. This is another signal of intent. What we said when the season finished is we wanted to capitalise from a position of strength, and I think Jurgen Klopp and the recruitment team are doing that now. What a few days it's been to be a Liverpool fan, and it just keeps going as well. Obviously the Chelsea game coming up. I'm recording the Chelsea preview as soon as this stream finishes. That's going to be going out either late tonight or first thing in the morning, so keep an eye out for it. I've done my predicted 11 with score predictions and all that stuff, so we're going to do it as a separate video because, you know, we don't want to ruin the buzz tonight over Thiago and Thiago Jota, because it's I was wondering, will I start the stream with a Ric Flair? But then I thought, nah, I Ric Flaired out yesterday. So how are we feeling out there in the real world, folks? I want your thoughts on this. What part of Dublin are you from? Asked Charlie Reid. By the way, love your videos. Thank you, Charlie. I was born and raised in Shankill, mate. Very, very, very South Dublin. But now I live in Wexford, as you probably know. What have we got? Jota would be better because he can play a wide range of positions, said SGN Raider. It's a very good point, mate, and you're spot on. We know Kloppo loves a bit of versatility. We've seen that with most of the signings that he makes. You name a player, and I can probably tell you 2 or 3 positions across whatever part of the pitch that player can play in. It is a mainstay, it is a staple of a Jurgen Klopp signing, somebody that can be utilised in a couple of different positions if needs be. I need a drink, said the champ. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, but let's just enjoy this together. Because 3 days ago, we were all on here. If I had hair, I would have been pulling it out. But we were all on here, and we were a little bit downbeat. We were looking around. We were seeing Everton strengthening. We were seeing Chelsea out there doing their business. But the club acted. The club acted swiftly, and once again told us all and proved us. Didn't tell us, but proved to us all. Just shut up and let us handle our business. We know what we're doing. We got to this point for a reason, and now it looks like that they are intent on staying where we are, which is right at the top of the table, ladies and gentlemen, right at the pinnacle of world football. Somebody said I missed the super chat. Which one was it? Let me scroll back through. I'm going back up. No, I did that one. I said thoughts on Kabak, and I said I was going to go through it in a few minutes, so I don't think I did miss the super chat. Let me keep scrolling back up though in case there's another one I did miss. No, I don't think I did. I think I've got them all. Press Salah said, did you see Fabrizio Romano tweet 50 minutes ago? I didn't, mate. I haven't had a chance to, but again, Press, please do let me know exactly what it was. What else is there? Jota's only 23. I know, Simon. Isn't it nuts? Who out there? Put your hand up if you thought that Thiago Jota was older than 23. Because when Connor said it to me, the first thing I thought was, he's 26, 27. Are we going for another player on his peak? And then he said to me, he's 23. 23. He's a baby. Don't mind as long as they perform. Trust Klopp, said Andrew Joel. Absolutely. Look, ladies and gentlemen, while you're here, there's almost 1,800 of you legends in the chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video as well, and give me your thoughts on the Reds transfer business. Are you happy with the thoughts of Thiago Jota? Do you want Ismaila Sarr instead? Well, if you do, you look like you're going to be disappointed, to be fair, but I still want to know your thoughts on it, because this is a community show, ladies and gentlemen. We want your voice as part of what we do. What will happen to Genie? Genie's staying till the end of the season. That's what was put out there. That's what we talked about last night. I believe it was Simon Hughes of The Athletic tweeted out last night. Liverpool's 4th captain, Genie Wijnaldum, is going to remain for the season. Now, you can read into that whatever way you want. You can read into that we're going to let his contract run down and Genie might leave at the end of the season, or, you know, we could just wait and see what happens here, wait and see how it plays out, see if Genie's happy at the end of the season, and he may go on and renew that contract. So let's just wait and see. But Genie's going to be here for the season, so the question still remains, who are we going to move on? You know, the Kylian Hoover situation. I've got to say I'm a little bit shocked on this one. I'm a little bit shocked, but again, I'm interested to know if there's a buyback clause in there. I mean, as a piece of business, purely just on a business perspective here, getting somebody from about 90 grand and selling them on for 10 million quid with 4 senior appearances, I think, for Liverpool is a very good piece of business, but it also shows you how highly thought of Kylian Hoover is. Not only can he play at right back, of course, he can drop in and play at centre back as well. And in that system that Wolves play with a back 3, you can kind of see how he could fit in and how he could adapt to that system rather nicely, and why Nuno wants him at Wolves. It is disappointing, to be fair. From some aspects it's disappointing because we all thought the Kylian Hoover looked like a real talent. If anything, Sepp van den Berg so far seems to be the one that's progressing a little bit more slowly, but then again, he's still a kid, 18 years of age I think, and plenty of time. But the Brewster situation we'll touch on in a few minutes as well. That looks like it's edging towards its conclusion, and we're going to start seeing Liverpool moving on a few more players now. So it's great to see us not have to sell first, by the way. I'm very impressed by this fact that we did not go out there and sell a load of players and then wait till the last minute. There's still over 2.5 weeks left in this transfer window, and we're getting the majority of our business done great, which is brilliant. Done early, I should say, or early enough, which is brilliant. What else have we got? Right, there was talk, you want to know about centre-back. Actually, before I go on to talk about Ozan Kabak, the guy from Schalke, let's move on to talk about one rumour that we started off the day with today. Don't know if you guys seen it earlier on, but reports in Spain suggested that Liverpool had inquired about taking Barcelona winger Ousmane Dembele on loan for the season, and the report suggests we'd be happy to pay a loan fee and cover his wages. How many times are we going to see this nonsense link with us to Ousmane Dembele? How many times are we going to be used by Barcelona in the media to try and flog on Ousmane Dembele? It's mad. It is nuts. I don't mind him as a player. He does look quality, but Liverpool don't go out there and loan people. We don't bring people in on loan. When's the last time we did that? It's just not something we do, particularly under Jurgen Klopp. So very surprised. I mean, Corker's the only one I can really think of, but that's just not the Liverpool way of doing things, really, to be honest. So we can file that one in the bullshit island pile. Jota is class, said Rich Grant. Jota all day, said Keane as well. Jota's a good player, please, said Ando Sakala. Sancho wants what's going on with Telles. Yeah, so if you're a Manchester United fan, we do it if you're watching the stream. Alex Telles looks like could be on the way there by the looks of things. Don't really care, to be honest with you. We all know that United's transfer business, as always, seems to be an absolute shambles. They wish they had Michael Edwards. They don't, but who cares? It's a United problem. We're up top, as I said. Nothing above us but sky, as Jamie Dodd put into the chat last night. Gutted we're selling Oxlade-Chamberlain, said Mr. Snowman. There's been no news that I've seen, by the way, on Oxlade-Chamberlain, unless I've missed something, unless that's what you guys were talking about earlier on. I've not seen anything other than the interest that we spoke about. But, you know, it wouldn't be a million miles from seeing how they could take Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, put him in that Jota-style position. I don't know. It would be interesting. I mean, it would certainly cover the fee. I mean, you'd imagine Oxlade-Chamberlain would get a similar fee, and we did say that there was apparent interest from Wolves. But I wonder is this interest actually a little bit misplaced, and was that interest actually in Kylian Hoover? I guess time will tell. And none of us want to see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain leave the club. Well, I don't anyway. I love the guy, but, you know, business is ruthless. Football is a business, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Right, ladies and gents, please do keep hitting that subscribe button. We're on the march to 50k. Yes, little old us, Anfield agenda, on the march to 50k. Also, as I said to you guys, we're unveiling our own brand new signing on Monday night. So make sure you tune in to us at 8:30, because we're going to have a special guest, somebody who I think you're going to see a lot more of on Anfield agenda moving forward. All going well. So don't miss out on that one. Of course, we'll be covering the Chelsea game on Sunday as well. We're going to be going live half an hour beforehand, so make sure you've got your notifications on. Mr. Connor Crosby is going to be joining me for that watch along. So not only will you get my commentary, you'll also get Mr. Connor Crosby chiming in with his 2 cents as well. I mean, what more do you want for nothing? Wolves got too many wingers, said Nageb. Would you take Jota for Oxlade-Chamberlain and Kylian Hoover? I think we'd be owed money in that transaction, if I'm being quite honest with you. To lose both those players to Wolves, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Kylian Hoover, and I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but somebody asked me the question, so I'm addressing it. I think we'd be owed money in that transaction. I mean, I would almost say Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Jota, you know, they probably wouldn't be a million miles away in valuations. Throw in Kylian Hoover there, and I think, you know, there could be a few bob coming our way, but, you know, we'll wait and see. Klopp is building a strong second team. Absolutely, pal. Absolutely, Johnson. He really is. And that's what you need. To challenge, like we need to challenge in all 4 competitions. You want to be going and getting 2 players for every position. It's as simple as that. Now, to cover the front line, we could have Diogo Jota. We could have Shaqiri there, Takumi Minamino. As things stand, Divock Origi. But there's still time in the window for Divock Origi to perhaps move on elsewhere. I don't know. But we will need to move on players. That is for certain, ladies and gents. But tonight's not about that. Tonight's about celebrating who's coming in, who's joining the Liverpool family. Thiago looks fly in that blue shirt. Yes, he looks rather nice, doesn't he? Defo pulls it off. Look, let's talk about the centre-back position for a second. I'll recap everything as well for those of you coming in a little bit late. Do not worry. We've gone over 1,900 viewers now. You know what's up, folks. Hit the subscribe button. Give us a like. Right, let's talk about Ozan Kabak. Somebody who we talked about a little bit ago on the stream. Somebody who Schalke brought in last summer, I believe. And somebody who, I can't remember who it was from Schalke, whether it was the manager or the sporting director. But somebody recently said that they plan on having him for the next season and that he's a very vital part of the team and he's not going to move on. But Liverpool are on the search for a fourth choice centre-back, or at least a fourth centre-back option. That's probably a better way of putting it. And this guy does fall into the price tag, or the potential price tag that we're most likely going to be willing to spend. Although I didn't think that we were going to go out there and drop so much money on the Jota, so we'll have to wait and see. But this is the calibre of fourth choice centre back that I think makes sense for us to look at. We'd also been linked with a few others as well. I never really understood the links to the guy from Sevilla, Diego Carlos, because the money was just way too high. €50 million. CDS Bro Z, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Said, do you think Jota was Klopp's idea? Yes, absolutely. Now, we do know often at times that the recruitment team do give names. Mohamed Salah, a very good example of that. Klopp had his eye elsewhere and the recruitment team said to him, we really think that Mohamed Salah is the way to go. Klopp accepted their guidance, and look, we know the rest, but Jota does seem like a Klopp type of player, I have to say. And apparently Liverpool have been looking at him for a very long time, according to Melissa Reddy as well, which they kept that one under wraps, didn't they? Because I'm baffled at this. How they managed so well to keep it under wraps and nobody had a clue. I mean, fair play to his side as well, by the way. Fair play to Wolves, fair play to his agency and everything for keeping this one under wraps. Will Thiago play against Chelsea? The potential is there. He is in the squad. And we will be doing a Chelsea preview straight after this, by the way. So that video should be up tomorrow morning or late tonight. And he is in the squad. Now, whether he's in the match, like whether he makes a 7 on the bench, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But he's certainly ready for action, ready for football. He has been training, obviously won the Champions League as well, been on international duty with Spain, but he's a Red now. Oh, yes, he's a Red, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for people about my age, or maybe even younger, do you think that the signing of Thiago is the biggest signing that we've made? Because there are some people out there, even of my age, and I'm 39 years of age right now, there are people out there who think that this is the biggest signing that Liverpool Football Club have made in their lifetime. It's a big statement to make that, but I understand where they're coming from. It's not very often that Liverpool go out there and sign somebody at the very top of the game, at the very top of their powers. 29 years of age is his peak. So for me, I think that this is huge. I can't understate how big of a statement this is from the club. Don't mind the money. If he had 4 or 5 years left on his deal, it would have been a whole lot more. We probably wouldn't have been in the conversation, to be fair. Delwyn Jones, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Said we could see Jota play as a striker, challenge for Bobby. Definitely going to be an option. And you know what? A very, very good option as well. But the question will remain there, and I've got to say this. We're still not going to get the probably the level of goals we'd want through the centre, but I've always been very open and honest in that I don't give a shit who scores the goals. I just want the goals to be scored and the 3 points to be gotten. If everybody puts in a performance and puts in a shift and that unit of the front three work for each other, that's all I care about. God help Lincoln, said Liam. I was only thinking that earlier on, buddy. I was just thinking about how strong a team we're going to be able to put out there against Lincoln, because I'm going to go through my 11 in the Chelsea preview later on, and again I hope you guys give that video a watch. But just thinking of who won't make that 11 and who will be available, it's going to be fun. You're going to be in for a good week here, ladies and gents. Bernadette said Thiago's a world-class player. Under Klopp we don't buy stars, we make them. In this case, Joel, it's a little bit different. Normally I absolutely agree with you, pal, but Thiago is a ready-made star. And did anybody see Stevie G as well, by the way? Oh, Stevie G. Stevie G earlier on was asked in his press conference about Bale going and joining Spurs, and he said to me, yeah, it's a good piece of business, but if I'm honest, the thing that's giving me the butterflies in my belly is Thiago. He's always a Red, Stevie, isn't he? Always going to be a Red. Love that. Love the little nod to Thiago. And if you're hearing that Thiago is giving Steven Gerrard, the man who's been there, seen it, done it, the man who's carried this club at times, the man who was a hero to many of us and still is, if he's getting butterflies in his stomach over Thiago, then you know that we've got the real deal. You know that we're after signing a top class player. I'll tell you what, this has been one hell of a 24 hours. I didn't sleep last night. Not joking, did not sleep, couldn't sleep. Tried to go to bed, closed my eyes, and all I could see was Thiago, like sheep, jumping over a little fence. Thiago, brilliant. So happy. I'm so tired. I'm so happy. But who gives a shit? That's what it's all about, folks. It's all about these moments where we all come together to celebrate. It's beautiful. What have we got? I think the Lincoln game's another pre-season game. No, it's not. It's basically, a Carabao Cup game. And one that we have to go win because I want us to go far in this competition. As we finished up last night's show, we were talking about who we're going to get in the next round of the Cup, and it was Leicester or Arsenal. So if we beat Lincoln, we'll play the winner of Leicester or Arsenal at Anfield. So, there was the fourth round draw anyway. Jota from Wolves, yes, Kelvin, that's the guy. Diogo Jota is going to be a red very soon. That deal is close to being concluded, €43 million, although I don't know why the euro price has been thrown around. About £38 million, something like that for this deal. When do we find out if Jota signs? I would imagine over the next 24 hours. I mean, we had planned on taking Saturday off, but if something happens, we're going to be live. I'm going to be on here and we're going to be talking about it. Elliot, how are you, buddy? Yes, Thiago's the biggest signing of the last 30 years to Captain Clun. Somebody telling us Bayern are 6-0 up against Schalke. Don't care, nothing to do with Liverpool. 7-0 up apparently now, still don't care, still got nothing to do with Liverpool. Right, midfield. Who's your go-to midfield? You ask me this all the time, ladies and gentlemen, and I give you the same answer. It depends on who we're playing, horses for courses. But who's your prime midfield? Who do you want to see in the three? Who would you like to see against Arsenal? Because I think it might be a little bit close to be really talking about Thiago starting against Chelsea. But who do you want to see against Arsenal at Anfield? That's the interesting midfield trio for me. We heard when we heard there was talk and interest in Thiago, we heard that Klopp's midfield three was going to be Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago a little bit ahead of them, treading balls through to the front three. That's what I think, but I want to know what you guys think. I see Klopp playing Jota as a rotation for Bobby when he's not playing the best, and having Thiago behind as a ball poacher for the front three, said CDS Bro Z. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Makes sense? Absolutely. But the options that this now gives to the manager is unbelievable, folks. It's nuts. I'm still waiting to figure out what that Fabrizio Romano tweet was somebody asked me about from 50 minutes ago, so maybe one of you guys could jump on there. Now, while I have you, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, we have launched on the Flick Chat app over the last week or two. If you haven't downloaded it yet, there is a link in the description to come and join the Flick Chat group. It's completely free. The app is free. There's no ads on it, nothing like that. It's a place where you can come interact with us when we're offline. You can do quizzes, polls, you can get on our prediction leaderboard. We put up predictions for each game. You get 5 questions to answer. It's class, it's really fun, it's starting to fill up in there. We want to get it to 1,000 as soon as we can. So if you haven't joined yet, there is a link in the description. As I said, everything is completely free, and we hope to see you over there real soon because it's a great time to be a Red. Another super chat. My goodness, they're coming quick and fast tonight. Base face in space. I finally got your name right. Said, at what point does Hendo lose a spot in midfield? Oh man, what a question. Do you know what I was thinking about this earlier on? And I'd seen Phil Thompson on LFC TV. He put out his predicted midfield for the game against Chelsea, and he hadn't got Hendo in it. And there are going to be times where we're probably going to have to leave out the captain. As much as I love him, as much as he's the heartbeat of that midfield, we are inundated with quality now. Oh yes, we are inundated with quality. And the options the gaffer has are just ridiculous. Carl Rimmer, there you are, buddy. I was looking to see where you were. Let me just make you a mod, Carl. 1 second. Right, what have we got? So, Carl Rimmer 04 there. Carl Rimmer 04 is going to be one of the guys running the Flick Chat app for us as well. He's part of the family now, so please do welcome him in. He's now a moderator on here as well. Thank you for all your work, by the way, Carl. I love the way you run stuff on Twitter and stuff. Love interacting with you, pal. Welcome to the family. Could he sign today? It's getting a bit late now, to be fair. But then again, Thiago had signed. We were on last night doing our stream and it looked like Thiago had signed that deal. It was just today, was coming in, just getting the last few bits and pieces done for the media and stuff like that. David Darcy, how are you, my friend? I've been a Liverpool fan since 1981, he said. As big as a signing as Thiago is, King Kenny is the biggest signing ever. Love the podcast. Thank you, man. I was a little bit too young, which is weird to say, like, when I'm probably one of the older people involved in this conversation. I was a little bit too young to remember Kenny Dalglish as a footballer. I would have caught the very, very, very tail end of his career before he became manager. Now, I remember his time as manager, but yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. But in my lifetime, this is probably the biggest established signing that I can remember Liverpool making. Obviously, we've gone out and signed players that have gone on to be amazing. Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres and the like, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, the list goes on. But they weren't at the pinnacle of the careers when Liverpool signed them. This is what you do when you're champions. This is how you act when you're champions. A massive credit to FSG, to Michael Edwards, to obviously the recruitment team, Dave Fallon, all the scouting team as well, for getting us to this position. We have Thiago, and we're about to sign Diogo Jota, and we're still looking for a centre-back. The three positions that we talked about, the three things we are frustrated about, they're all coming to fruition, ladies and gentlemen. So what can we do other than sit back, relax, smirk, and go... Oh, I've been humming that song all day, by the way. Well, I've actually been dancing around the house like a fool, but that's what you do when you're happy, isn't it? Thiago, fantastic signing, said Jake Menz. Unbelievable. Keep your comments coming, folks, because I want to see how you're feeling. And as well, let me know where in the world you're watching from. We talked about this last night. I love to know where I'm talking to people from. It's lovely to know that we've got a group of Reds, a community here from all around the world. Nearly 1,900 people in the chat, folks. Let's keep hitting that subscribe button and push us on towards that 50k mark. Who would have thought it? Little old us, little old Anfield agenda, marching towards 50k. But do you know what? It feels like an army. It feels like that's what we're doing here together. It feels like we're creating a little community, a little army, and no one's going to stop us. I love it. I could break into song any minute here, by the way. I'll try my best not to. Could we sign Mbappe? The genuine answer was no, if I'm being honest with you. I could say possibly. I could give you all the spiel, but it's the wages. The wages for him would be a massive problem, and I don't see him ending up anywhere but Real Madrid, if I'm being quite honest with you. Right, I want to go through some more of your comments. John Hamilton said, Flick Chat is for anyone. Yes, absolutely anybody can join the Flick Chat. Now, the Discord group is different. That's only for members. It's part of the $4.99 a month they pay for, as well as, of course, the emojis and stuff that you get. And if you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, just click the blue join button. It is $4.99 a month. For that, you get the Anfield Agenda badge beside your name. That badge changes colour the longer you're with us. It starts off as a bronze badge, then it becomes silver after 2 months, gold. And when you're here 6 months, you get that beautiful red. And we're working on something for the 1 year anniversary, because obviously we haven't had memberships for a year, so there will be another special badge for 1 year. You also get access to the Discord group, which is where we share the innermost secrets. We share all the transfer rumours and gossip nice and early in there, and we also ask you guys for your feedback and help to futurely shape the channel. Futurely's not a word, Craig. It's not a word, man. What? Just shut up. Stop talking. Just read some comments. I'm from England, said Ben. Nice to have you in. South Africa's in the house as well. Lovely. Bristol, nice. Wexford, Dara, how are you, pal? Howland, that is a very Wexfordy type of name, to be fair. North Wales for Delwyn, nice one. Kingston, Jamaica, Ricardo, how are you, buddy? Yet again, Liverpool handle transfers their way, said Keegan773, the right way as well, buddy. Starguts, how are you, buddy? High five for you as well. Joanne Fisher, there you go. Joanne has very kindly put in all the Anfield Agenda membership emojis that you get. The fuck 'em, the WFM, the goal emoji, Kloppo, Salah, Van Dijk, Mane, Blame Connor, the Premier League trophy, C Senor, number 6, and my bald head. And also, on the Flick Chat app, there are some cool little cheer emojis, or cheer pixels they're called. If you click on the little dude with the sunglasses, you scroll down to the very bottom, there's an Anfield Agenda emoji in there, and there's a Craig emoji that you can use as well to cheer into the chat. Nepal, wow, nice. Alaska's in the house. This nuts. Andrew Price, how are you? He's in. Glenn, he said he's in since 1971 supporting the Reds. Wow. New Delhi in the house as well. Rahul, how are you, buddy? Mad. You guys are amazing. It's crazy to think where people are coming together to share all our love for the club that we all feel this passion for. Reds from all around the world. I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we started Anfield Agenda. Naas County Kildare's in the house, just outside the new lockdown, mate. Well done. Dublin getting, up to level 3 there, so you're just outside that. Fair play. Philippines in the house as well for Eddie. How are you, pal? Nice. Right, let's go back through. For those of you coming in a little bit late tonight, let's talk about what's happened today. Obviously, the signing. Let's go through the Thiago picks again for those coming in a little bit late. Look at him. Look at him. Thiago there. There he is in the 6 shirt. I'm not a fan of the away shirt, if I'm being honest with you. What else have we got? Let's move that one out. There's Thiago looking at the hallowed turf of Anfield, and it just looks right, doesn't it? He suits the Liverpool jersey, and my God, that pitch looks like a snooker table there. So for those of you coming in a little bit late, you may not have seen these photos. There he is. There I am doing keepy uppies. That's not him, that's me. I've looked well, don't I? Lost a few pound there. And there he is, fake signing his new contract. I love that they do this with, like, he's signing there. It's not the real contract. We know it's not the real contract. And is there one more Thiago picture? There is indeed. There he is in all three shirts. Take your pick what favourite Thiago. I mean, he's one of the few players I've seen that have really pulled off the middle shirt, by the way, the away shirt. We touched on this last night, or it was the night before, actually. And Liverpool's away shirt is currently the best-selling away shirt in England. I think it's up 33% or something like that on last year's away shirt sales. So, nice one there. UAE is in the house as well. That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Fit man, did you try to write fat man, or are you talking about Thiago? I don't know. I'm so used to being trolled, mate, that I wasn't sure which way you were going with that. What was this? Will Chamberlain leave this window? I'm genuinely unsure. As to how real the interest from Wolves in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is, and whether Jurgen Klopp would be willing to sell him. But I can understand the interest, particularly if Jota is coming to Liverpool. Mortal Death loves the away kit. I like it as well. My wife calls it a blouse, but I love it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going. Another 15 minutes or so before we finish up tonight, and then I'm going to be recording our Chelsea preview. But again, the news is brilliant today. If you're coming in late, what a day. Liverpool have unveiled and of course signed Thiago from Bayern Munich for a fee of £20 million, rising up to £25 million. The way the deal is structured is it's £5 million a year over the 4 years that he's here, plus those potential add-ons. But just as we were happy and celebrating that, the news broke then. I think it was Paul Joyce, the first one to get the news out there from our side, to say that Liverpool are in advanced talks with Wolves for Diogo Jota, a fee rumoured to be somewhere between £36 and £38 million for the versatile attacking player. Can play in a wide position, can play anywhere across the front three, and in my mind a very astute piece of business from Jurgen Klopp. I can absolutely see the appeal. The other piece of news with regards to Wolves was, of course, that earlier in the day it broke that Kylian was set to move to Wolves for a fee rising to around £10 million as well, which is a great piece of business from us. I've no idea if there's a buyback clause in there. I genuinely haven't seen it anywhere, one way or the other. But I do wish him well, whatever happens, because he looks like a talented young player. And Wolves need a fullback, obviously, after Doherty went and joined Jose Mourinho at Spurs. So, makes sense. The Oxlade-Chamberlain thing is an interesting one, because we do need to try and balance the books as well. So, there will be a couple of players moving out. It's been a quiet day in the Raheem Brewster front, by the way. There seems to be a bit of a head-to-head going on between Crystal Palace and Sheffield United over the signing of Raheem Brewster. Everything that I've seen suggests that Sheffield United seems more likely. And if I was advising him, I'd send him to Sheffield United to work with Chris Wilder, because I think he's a bit more of a forward-looking manager than Roy Hodgson, who's done a good job, in fairness to him, at Crystal Palace. I mean, credit where it's due there. But I think that Raheem Brewster, ideally I would have liked to have seen him go on loan. But if he does go for that £20-25 million fee there to Sheffield United, there will be a buyback clause. That's one thing we can say certain about any deal for Raheem Brewster, is Liverpool will include the buyback clause in that deal. So it's a sad moment if he does move on for me, because I love the kid. I think he's brilliant and I hope he comes back. But the club are doing what they have to do to stay on top. And that's all we want. We want Liverpool to stay on top. And again, we got a little teaser from Kloppo as well during the week. A little bit of a hint maybe that he may look to stay at Liverpool past 2024, which is amazing news. None of us thought that there was any chance of that happening. It's not nailed on, of course. A lot can happen in 4 years, but the gaffer did leave the door open for that one as well. So him and his family clearly loving life on Merseyside. Brilliant. Love it. California's in the house as well. Riverside, California, WFM for Johnny Quid. Well played, sir. Move Origi on, said Louis Talks. I'm with you. For me, here's my list of players that I wouldn't mind seeing the football club, or leave the football club, excuse me. Divock Origi, as many magical moments as that beautiful man gave us, and I'll always love him for those moments. I do think it's going to be hard for him to get regular game time. So I would look at moving Divock on. I've always thought Shaqiri was available to move on. I understand why people like him, But I don't see the same thing that you guys do. I just see a player that unfortunately seems to have had a lot of injuries. I think Grujic could move on. Wilson, if we get the right monies available to move on. And a few other fringe players as well. But the key here is the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain one. That's the really interesting one to me. Would you like to see Liverpool get Connor Cody back next season, said Carl Richards? No, mate. And not because I don't like Connor Cody. I just think he's in the right place for his career. I mean, he looks settled at Wolves. He's the captain at Wolves. Wolves are a club that are looking to push on and get, establish themselves as a European club. And I think he's in the right place. But nothing but love and respect for Connor Cody for what he's done to go back there to Wolves after it didn't work out at Liverpool, and to just get back into the Premier League, captaining that Wolves team. Nothing but love. Base Face and Space said love for Origi. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Because, we've all formed bonds with these players. Look, the most important thing is the badge. Liverpool above everybody, always. But we do form bonds with these players for special moments. Shaqiri, Origi, Wijnaldum all played such a massive part in that game against Barcelona. That miracle to beat Barcelona with Lionel Messi, Felipe Coutinho, Luis Suarez, 4-0 at Anfield without some very important players, without Mohamed Salah, without Roberto Firmino, with Robertson going off just before half-time, I think it was as well. What a night. And they played an important part in that, which makes it difficult. But at the end of the day, Klopp will only have so many players that he can work with. The squad of 25 can only be registered, as you know, underage players, 21 and under, they don't have to be registered, but the players we're all talking about here, most of them are over that age. With the signing of Thiago, do you think we could see a formation switch up? It is definitely possible, Bob. It is definitely possible. We've seen this tweak before. 4-2-1-3, 4-2-3-1, whichever way you want to look at it. We almost play a system, though, that's more 2-3-2-3 at times. With the full-backs pushing up, obviously, towards the midfielders. Centre-backs coming back, and then at times Firmino dropping back to split the centre-backs. But what this does give us, and it's an important tactical tweak from Klopp, as you guys know, the signing of Thiago has not only brought us in an excellent footballer, but a footballer who offers us something very different to what we have now. If you look back to the game, the Champions League final, it was that brilliant straight pass from Thiago, just that moment of brilliance that set up that goal, that got them that Champions League. That's what he can do. And Liverpool right now, a lot of our attacks come down the flanks, or they come from balls over the top from our centre-backs, almost bypassing the midfield. But with Thiago in there, behind our front three, threading balls through, it gives us another option. We can now play through midfield as well, and just give teams something else to think about, because I'm not saying we've become predictable, because we're still a force of nature when we're on our game, but teams do tend to pack the middle, force us out wide, try and block crosses, and sometimes sit back and defend deep against us. And that's where I think the likes of Thiago, Naby Keita, Takumi Minamino, that little bit of creativity and invention behind the front three, in and around the box, will give us something different. And that's all you ask for. You want to have a plan B. Now we have a plan A, a plan B, and probably a plan C as well. We've nothing to complain about. We've no excuses. We're going into this season with a squad as strong as I think we could have realistically hoped for. Now the centre-back situation still needs to be resolved, and it will be resolved, I believe, before the window shuts. But one superstar at a time, folks. One superstar at a time. Right, again, please do keep hitting that subscribe button, folks. You've got 10 minutes or so left to get your comments in. If there's anything you want me to answer or any questions you have, please do put them in the chat. What a day. What a day, Reds. Thiago plays football like it's FIFA, said Raheem. Jota beat Trent in the Premier League esports final during lockdown as well. Fair play, but I'm not sure it makes any difference to why we signed him. But with the possible signing of Jota, we would maybe be able to get him in the lineup as well. With regards to which going forward, yes. For the weekend, no. I mean, he had to have been registered before 12 p.m. today to take part against Chelsea. If we sign Ismaila Sarr, then we'll be able to force to be avoided this year. It doesn't look like Sarr is the option. I'm going to just bring you guys back to something that Melissa Reddy put out earlier on. She said the club looked into the possibility of signing Watford's Ismaila Sarr, but the valuation that Watford placed on him was described as exorbitant. I hate that word. I wish she used a different word. Ridiculous, ludicrous, but no, exorbitant was the word. And that's a strong word, by the way, so I can only imagine the price tag that Watford were putting on Sarr. Congratulations to our great teams at Empire Quality Products. Thank you for that, buddy. Captain Clun said Jota next one to sign for Liverpool and subscribe to Anfield Agenda. Absolutely. You know that Thiago's already subscribed. You know he does. He's probably sitting there watching right now thinking, that my doppelganger on the screen? I know. I get you, Thiago. I'm ready. I'm available if you need, me coming in there wearing the number 6 shirt. Nobody's know. Do I think Jota will sign? Well, Benjamin, it's definitely looking that way, mate. I mean, you're talking quite far along in this deal. Wolves and Liverpool are locked in talks. All signs seem to point to yes, it will get over the line. The same company, Gestifute, that represent Fabinho and George Mendes was involved in the deal, obviously, to bring Fabinho from Monaco to Liverpool. The same company, or the same agency, I think, represents Jota, so, it makes sense. What else is it? Oh, Bernadette with a super chat. The Echo have reported Thiago asked Alonso and Coutinho about a move. They persuaded him so far. Fair play, Craig. To be fair, the Echo didn't get a scoop on that one. He said that on LFC TV when he was being interviewed. He did say that Felipe Coutinho and Xavi Alonso did tell him what a great place it was. They gave him, where to go, where to live, all that kind of stuff. And it's great to see our past players, even the ones that may not have left on the best of terms, to come back and, sing the praises about the club. It's a special place. We say that all the time. And one of the things that Thiago spoke about that was most important to him was that family feeling. He had that at Bayern Munich in the 7 years he spent there. And he said he got the same vibe from Liverpool, which is brilliant, because we do like to think of ourselves, as much as we get slagged about it by opposition fans, we like to think of ourselves as different. We are a little bit different. And it's beautiful to hear those words out of Thiago's mouth to say that he gets that family vibe from the club. So do you think Thiago will play against Chelsea or off the bench or even starts at Keane O'Brien? I'd be baffled if he starts, mate, genuinely. I don't know if he'll be on the bench. He is available. I mean, Klopp has that option there. I'll go through my full preview. Again, keep an eye out for that. The video will be dropping late tonight or early tomorrow. But look, that's all I can say. I don't know. I can't read the manager's mind. Kloppo was, if you're reading Kloppo's thoughts from what he was saying, it suggests that he thinks Thiago is there or thereabouts ready. It's just a matter of, does Klopp feel tactically that he's up to speed on what he wants from him? But you're talking about one of the best midfielders in the world, so I'm sure that he's quite tactically astute. Bob said, Celox, you're so deluded. There's always one arsehole, isn't there? There's always one arsehole in the chat that likes to laud it over everybody else. Look, Bob, I'm not the one saying that we should sell him. This is just news and rumours that's out there. We all love Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So, how about stop being a whiny little bitch? Stop trying to make people feel inferior to you, pal. Because I guarantee you, you know fuck all about football, mate. I guarantee you that you're coming on here giving a Billy Big Bollocks, trying to make people feel bad. That's not how we work in here, pal. We're here for positivity. We're here to support people. Stop coming in and being an arsehole, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's straightforward. Calling people deluded. You're allowed to have an opinion, mate. Do you know what I mean? People are allowed to have an opinion. You might not agree with that opinion, but they are allowed to have that opinion. Thanks for responding. No problem, Keane. Thank you for being with us, mate. What a night, Cop Bites. Great work, LFC and FSG, said David Dunn. Jota is much better than Sarr, said Bradley Dunlop. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please do hit that subscribe button before you head off. We've got about 5 minutes left on tonight's stream. Still time to get your thoughts and comments in. Still time to download the Flick Chat app as well. We'll be on that later on tonight, asking you your opinion on lots of different bits and pieces as well. Let your friends know about it. It's a free group. Anybody's welcome to come in. How much is Kabak? The honest answer, Dan, is as of yet I do not know, because the vibe coming from Schalke was that he wasn't for sale. That was the words out of Schalke. I would imagine we're talking somewhere between 10 and 15. That seems to be about the price range that all the links to Liverpool centre-backs that I've seen were willing to spend. Mondi was about 10.8. The guy from Sampdoria, I think, was about 11 million quid as well. So you can see a pattern there of centre-backs are being linked to. What a day, said Seb. What a day indeed, buddy. What a day. Who would you start, Jota or Firmino? Firmino. I need to stop saying Firmino. I'm so used to Brazilians saying EO. Again, horses for courses, buddy. Whoever's whoever's chomping at the bit, whoever's putting the graft in at training, whoever Klopp feels is tactically best for the game at hand. You're talking about two players there who will run and run and run and will press and press and press and will do everything that's asked of them. Will tuck in defensively. It's another brilliant option. It's another great string to Jurgen Klopp's bow. I obviously love Bobby Firmino. Everybody knows that. He's my favourite player, but it is great to have another option there, and a little bit of pressure does no harm. Bobby knowing that there's somebody there waiting to take his shirt if he doesn't step up, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we need. We need people to keep their levels up, and a little bit of pressure helps do that. Will Thiago be part of the squad against the Blues? He is available, Aziz. He is available, mate, to be part of the squad. Now, I can't tell you what Jurgen Klopp is thinking, but I believe he's definitely travelling down anyway. Maybe just to get a feel of the Premier League and stuff like that. Could Keita get moved on? No. 100% not in this window, Jack. Not a chance. This is Naby Keita's season. This is the one that he's going to step up. How does the Jota deal mean Sarr's off the table? I like Sarr. Or does the Jota deal, mean Sarr's off the table? Lewis, this is what happened, mate. Apparently, Melissa Reddy said the club looked into signing Ismaila Sarr, but the valuation that Watford placed on him was described as exorbitant. So there you go. Liverpool obviously knocked on the door, didn't get an answer anywhere near what they were happy with, and went to look at other options, which is what we do. And Diogo Jota was somebody that obviously Jurgen Klopp had been keeping tabs on, and yeah, there you go. Bobby Game said, "Sorry Craig, I wasn't calling you deluded. I'm sorry for being so rude." Do you know what, mate? It takes a big person to say sorry. I do it all the time, so don't give it a second thought, pal. Not a bother. Lovely to see you win again, and thank you for the apology, mate. And again, brilliant. Love it. Welcome back. Right, what else have we got? New member to the Familia as well. Peter Ortiz, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. You've been renewing your membership though, because you've got that sexy red badge, mate. So welcome back, Peter. Lovely to see you back in, mate. Thank you for renewing. When is the embargo? I don't know what you mean by embargo, Seb. The window closing is October the 5th, if that's what you're asking. Bobby, I think I read your message. No problem, mate. Don't worry about it. Thank you for saying what you said as well, mate. I really appreciate it. We just want good vibes in the chat. Do you know what I mean? We want people to come in, kick back, relax. There's a lot going on in the world right now. People are fed up to their back teeth. And we just want to give people an hour or so where they can come in, kick back and relax with other Reds. I'm struggling here. Is Jota a done deal? In the world of football, mate, nothing is done until the ink is on the paper. It looks like it's going to be a done deal, but I don't ever commit to stuff like this until it's absolutely done. But again, I didn't think last night that Jota was even of interest to Liverpool Football Club. Today we all hear that a deal's very close, and it is described as being very close. So I would imagine we'll probably hear something tomorrow. But yeah, I would say this is, unless there's a complete breakdown in communication between Liverpool and Wolves, unless there's a contractual situation that, holds things up, I would think, yeah, it's looking pretty nailed on. David Dunn said, happily sell Brewster. I don't know about the happily part, buddy. I mean, each to their own. For me, I think Ryan Brewster will be a top quality centre forward. And look, as long as the buyback clause is in there, at least we know the option is there for us to bring him back. My feeling on it was always that I felt a little bit bad for Brewster because it doesn't exactly scream support and belief if we're selling him, even with a buyback clause. But look, I wish Ryan, if he does move on, all the best because I love the kid. I think he's brilliant. David Darcy, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. Thank you very much for being with us, and I hope to see you in the Discord group soon. Jota out of the blue, said Mark Catterall. Yeah. Catterall, came out of nowhere, man. Nowhere. Nobody had seen had a Scooby-Doo about Jota, and then today, boom, Paul Joyce breaks it out there, and here we are. What's brighter, Firmino's teeth or our title chances? Oh, Mark, they're both pretty damn bright, mate. You know what I mean? Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I was going to finish up. There's still 1,800 of you guys in the chat. I can do another 10 or 15 minutes if you want. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you want me to stay on for another 15 minutes. Maybe to recap some stuff for people coming in late or to answer a few more questions. The floor is yours as always, folks. This is your show. We do things a little bit differently here on Anfield Agenda. It's a community show, so we want your input on it. Again, don't forget to join the Flick chat group. I really ask you that one favour. Download that. It's completely free. I'd love to see you in there. Bradley Fricker said, why do we go for Werner properly now? We are spending cash. I tell you what, Bradley, I've asked myself that question, mate. It's a great question. Thank you guys for the thumbs up and the love. I really appreciate it. Right, anyway, to Bradley's question. Bradley, it could have been just a timing thing, because when Timo Werner agreed that deal to go to Chelsea, a lot of stuff was still up in the air with regard to maybe when fans will get back in, stuff like that. And all I can think of is that the club have looked at the finances of the deal, the timing of that deal, and just felt that it wasn't right at that moment in time. Whereas maybe just even a few weeks in this crazy world that we're in now down the line, maybe things have become a bit clearer. Maybe the way the deals are structured are more favourable to Liverpool. We know that the Thiago deal is an example. We're not just going in and handing him 25 million quid. It's basically £5 million a year for the 4 years he's here, plus the potential 5 million in add-on. So that's pittance for a player of his quality. And all I can think of was that the numbers just didn't add up for Werner. Because Klopp wanted him, no doubt about that. Werner wanted us, no doubt about that. It's just one of those things, unfortunately, buddy. And there's not many that I think are ones that got away from Liverpool, but he is one for me that I think may have got away. But look, it is what it is. We are where we are. We move on, and we've got some great additions to our squad. Sancho in 2021, said Raheem. Opinions. My honest opinion on that would be, if Sancho stays at Borussia Dortmund this summer, and United don't get him, next summer, could we be in the conversation? Yes, but I think we'll be in the conversation and losing one of our front three. That's my honest opinion on this, and it is only that, just an opinion. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying everyone has to agree with me, but I firmly believe that if Sancho stays, we will be in the conversation, but I just think that it will get to a point where we'll have to free up a serious amount of cash. And we're talking about players then who are probably 29, 30 years of age as well. Maybe who want one more move in their career. So, don't rule it out next summer. That's all I'm saying. Elusive Glue, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. I love that name. Well in. Thank you for becoming a member. Hope to see you in the Discord group. For those of you that have joined and become members, check the community tab of our YouTube page and you'll see the link there to the Discord group. Jota has so much potential. Hope we sign him, said Danny Jackson. Was anybody else surprised to hear that he was only 23? I know I said this earlier on, but still baffles me that he's only 23. Will we loan Dembele, said Gideon Griffin. Touched on it earlier on, mate. There was something, I think Sport is the name of the media group that put the link out there to Ousmane Dembele from Liverpool. It's always a link that's there. I don't know if it's lazy journalism, or I don't know if they're just trying to drum up some interest in Dembele to free up money for Barcelona, because they are a Spanish outlet, and Barcelona do need to free up cash and move on players, and Dembele is somebody that hasn't really worked out as of yet at Barcelona, and maybe Koeman just doesn't fancy him, and maybe the board are trying to free up some wages and some space. But no, we won't be signing Dembele. Any Wijnaldum updates? Yes, Wijnaldum's staying to the end of the season, David. That's the update. Simon Hughes of The Athletic, formerly of The Echo, put up a tweet yesterday to say that Gini Wijnaldum will be staying at Liverpool to the end of the season. And I don't know if that means that there's contract talks on the way, or I don't know if that means that they've had a discussion. Gini's happy to stay, see out his contract, and Jurgen's happy enough with that. But he is going to be here for the season, mate, which is brilliant, because as I said to you guys before, only Roberto Firmino has played more league minutes under Jurgen Klopp since 16-17 than Gini Wijnaldum. That's how much of a mainstay he is in Jurgen Klopp's team. Football Talk said, yep, I thought Jota was about 25. Let's talk about Kabak, said Base Face in Space. There's not really much to talk about, mate. The links are there. Makes sense, but I have to go back to Schalke's point of view and Schalke's stance, of course, to say that that he's not for sale this summer. Now, that could be just talk, I don't know. Maybe, their heads have been turned with an offer from Liverpool that they deem acceptable. I don't know, is the honest answer, but he is somebody that we seem to be looking at, and it is something worth keeping an eye on. Now, if anybody has anything latest, let me know. Chris Legit said, become a member, do it now. Thank you, Chris. Dembele's injury prone, 100%. He is injury prone, and you can't hold that against the player, though. I mean, you can hold it against them from looking at whether you bring them into a club or not, but no player ever wants to be injured. But yeah, you're right. I'd rather have a Adama Traore than Jota, gotta be honest, said Billy Dickinson. I hear you, Billy, but again, the vibes that were coming out, the same agent, by the way, the same Gestifute and George Mendes, I think represents Adama Traore, if my memory's correct as well. And there was talk a couple of weeks ago that Adama's price from Wolves was £63 million, and that George Mendes was looking to try and get that knocked down a little bit to make a potential move for Adama Traore possible in this window. So you're probably not twice the money, but you're probably talking about another 80% on top of what we're paying for Jota to get Adama Traore. And Adama, as explosive as he is and as good as he can be, I don't think he'd offer us as many options as somebody like Jota would. Jota is far more technically astute and tactically astute. Or tactically astute, I should try to say. Sorry, I meant to say technically. Technically aware and tactically astute than Adama is for me. And I'm not saying he's just a speed merchant, but I think that there's a few more strings to Diogo Jota's bow. And particularly for the price tag, as I said as well. But Adama is class. When he gets up ahead of steam and he gets running at you, unless you foul him, there's not much you can do to stop him. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going. 10 more minutes and we are at 1,700 viewers. So that means there has to be a couple of newbies in the watching audience. So please do hit that subscribe button, folks. Takes 1 second, means the world to us, and hopefully we can welcome you into the Anfield Agenda family moving forward. Be lovely to see that click over 1 more 100 before the stream finishes. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the stream, and let's see if we can go to 46.3. Adama is a monster. So yeah, he is. There's no doubt about that. Klopp will make Jota a great player, said Sion. I hope I pronounced that correctly, buddy. He will, no doubt about it. He's a very Klopp type of player. You look at him and you just know, boom. A couple of people asking about the chair as well. It is a real chair. I know some people think that it's fake, but look, it is a real chair. Comes from a company called Serendipity Furniture. It's a family-run business by Paul and Beth. They make wonderful bespoke chairs. There is the Liverpool Live Bird and my surname embroidered onto this chair as well. It is quality. And if you are looking for them, you find them on Facebook, you find them on Twitter. And this, I love this chair so much. I really do. Right, Brewster better than Origi. No disagreement for me, Maddie. I would absolutely keep Ryan Brewster over Divock Origi. I'm watching from Minnesota, said Nura. Ali, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. Hope that you're well. Michael Garner said, in my opinion, Jota is a more complete player and has a much better finishing ability. He's definitely a more complete player. I agree with you. Now, Adama Traore does have a very high ceiling and potentially could be a superstar, but potentially not as well. I love your video, said Joel Harley. Thank you. Thank you so much, mate. That means a lot to us. One thing you'll always get from us on here is no egos, no nonsense like that. I'm nothing special. I'm just a fan, lucky to have this platform, to be able to talk to you guys about the club that we all love. I don't claim to be anything else, nor will I ever. And I hope that you guys will never let me get a big head, by the way. Bigger than this noggin already is. But yeah, that's why I love this community so much, is we're not afraid to knock each other back down a peg or two if needs be. Are you having a beer tonight, Craig? No, I don't drink, mate. I'm a teetotaler, believe it or not. Yeah, weird, I know. You don't associate Irish people with being teetotalers, but I am. And not for any reason. I have the odd beer, but just don't do hangovers too well. Dara pretended he's a newbie. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Dara. FSG are super smart owners, says Shayon. How times have changed over 48 hours. Because let's be honest with ourselves here, folks. We were all a bit critical 48 hours ago. We were all looking at this situation going, I don't know, man. Are we really going in for Thiago? Are we going to get a wide player? Who's leaving the club? What do you mean we have to sell to buy? But look, bang, 48 hours later, we're all here doing cartwheels, whistling the Thiago song. What a great intro, by the way, as well. 1.7k watching, 650 likes, said Mr. Woods. Come on, people. Surely we can get that to 1,000 likes for Diogo Jota, folks. Make sure you smack a like on the video, smash a like, drop a like, kick a like, whatever way you want to do it. Hit that thumbs up button. Be lovely. 2 nights in a row with 1,000 likes on the video. We've never done that. Surely Thiago deserves 1,000 likes, folks. Right, let's keep going. Martin Costello, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Thank you so much, buddy. Again, hope to see you in the Discord group and enjoy the emojis, mate. Lovely to have you with us. Thoughts on a defender? Yeah, that seems a good topic to finish the last few minutes on tonight, ladies and gents. Let's talk about defenders. Looks like we've got the wide forward sorted out in Diogo Jota. Definitely got the midfielder sorted out in Thiago. Now attention does turn to a centre-back. And I want to know your thoughts. Who do you want Liverpool to go out there and get? Now, please don't be hitting me up with Koulibaly's, because there's no Koulibaly nonsense. It's not going to happen. City are still looking at Koulibaly, and even at that, even with their financial capability, shall we say, they're struggling to come to a deal with Napoli over him. But I want to know who you guys, is there anybody out there you think the Reds should be looking at that we aren't looking at? It is a position that, again, our cards seem to be quite close to our chest on. There's been a few links: Collie, Mondi, Diego Carlos. Obviously the guy that we spoke about earlier on as well from Schalke, Kabak, I believe you pronounce his name. Right, I want to finish off. Let's get it to 1,000 likes, said Joel. Yes, let's get it to 46.3 as well. What a way to finish. So Ayush said Kabak, we need a striker if Brewster goes. We don't. I mean, look at the options we have. We've got 3 forwards. We know the front 3. Then the backup options there, you've got Jota if he comes in. You've got Minamino. You've got Shaqiri as an option right now. You've got Divock Origi there. So there are options for the manager. Still, if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain remains at the club, he can play in a wide position as well. So we do have some pressure on the front 3, which is great. Firstly, do we really need a centre-back? Said Danine. I understand where you're coming from with this. I understand with Thiago coming in and the amount of central midfielders that we have at the club right now that people are thinking, if we're stuck, we can drop Fabinho back and he can play centre-back. He can do that, yes, but it's not ideal. We've seen Pep Guardiola at Manchester City try and get away with this as well with Fernandinho, and look, it didn't work out too well. It was clear that they should have got another centre-back and they're trying to address that now. They bought in Aki as well. I think it will be a gamble. I think it's not a gamble worth taking if we can afford to solve the situation and bring somebody in, which it looks like we can. Mark Caldwell has put a link into the Flick chat as well if anybody wants to download it. Thank you very much, Mark. Love to see 1,000 of you guys in there by the end of next week. Just to show that we really are WFM. We should get Tyrone Mings. Even when people mention Mings' name to me, I just shiver. I don't get the Tyrone Mings love. I mean, he's alright in a particular type of system, but I don't see him suit Liverpool. Fabinho will be 4th choice centre-back, said Alvin Brown. It's looking like we're getting one in, buddy. I mean, a week ago, I was talking about the same type of stuff as you, but it does look like Klopp wants to get a centre-back. That's the vibes coming out from the journalists anyway. Nico Elvedi? Richard, is that his name? Sorry, I don't know the guy, so I'll pass on that. 200 likes left to go, said Remo. We can do this, folks. We can hit this 1,000 likes on the video. It only takes a second. A lot of people want Kabak. Fair play. I'm not going to pretend I've watched too much of Schalke. I watched a little bit of them, but mainly when we were linked with that American kid. What's his name again? The guy who plays for Schalke. I can't think of his name right now. We were linked with him, so I was watching Schalke for a little bit to see how he gets on. I can't remember his name. Is it Wesley something or Kingston something like that? Tarkowski, somebody else has said there. Somebody had a bid turned down, I think, of 31 million for Tarkowski. Was it Villa? I can't remember. You guys let me know last night. But Tarkowski was somebody we looked at a long time ago. Didn't pull the trigger on him. And I don't think we will at this moment in time either, to be honest with you. Not for that money. McKennie, yes, Weston McKennie, that was the guy. Thank you. That was the gentleman that I was watching Schalke for, because we were linked with him at one point and I was watching to see what he was like. I never paid too much attention to Kabak, if I'm being honest. Yes, that is Weston McKennie, thank you. This is why I love the chat. This is why I love you guys. I fuck up and you're here to bail me out. Beautiful. Tadibo, somebody else said. Did you guys see, actually, there was another player that Manchester City were linked with. What's that dude from Sevilla? This is where you guys come in and bail me out again. Kunde? Is that his name? Manchester City were linked with him as well. And he looks like a decent player, to be fair. Ben White. Now, you see, Dan Stiller has nailed it. In my dream, Liverpool go out and sign Ben White. That's it. For me, bang, get it done. But Ben White signed a new deal with Brighton. He had a very impressive loan spell for a couple of years at Leeds. Brilliant centre-back for me. Somebody that, you know, has a tremendous future ahead of him, and somebody that, even though he signed a new contract at Brighton and Hove Albion, Liverpool are going to keep tabs on, because we do have an interest in him, as I'm sure do a lot of other clubs. He looks like the real deal, and I'd love us to go out there and sign Ben White. That would be perfect for me. But I want to ask you one question, and I asked that. I know I'm going on here, by the way, but sorry, stick with me. Should Liverpool be looking to add a 4th choice centre back, or should we be looking to add somebody that wants to come in and force his way to be a 2nd choice centre back behind Virgil van Dijk? That's a genuine, fair question, I think. And, you know, there's no one to say that if we go out there, I mean, let's not forget Matip was a free signing, and he's in here now challenging for a first team place. So there are bargains to be had out and about. Kunde or Zagadou maybe. Look, if again, dream world here, Upamecano, those type of players. I've seen Jonathan Tah actually linked with somebody in the Premier League recently. Eric Garcia's contract is running out in 2021, said Mark Lindsay. 150 likes to go. Surely we could get that in the last minute or two, folks. 1 second, click that like. Let's get this video over 1,000 likes again. How about Bastoni? He looks promising, said Jamie Peggs, excuse me, mate. Love the daily content. Keep it up. We love you, said Danny Jackson. You're very kind, mate. Really appreciate that. Yeah, tomorrow was supposed to be my day off, but if something happens with Jota, I'll be on here to make a video. Again, keep an eye out. I'm going to be, as soon as I'm finished here, I'm going to be recording the Chelsea preview. So keep an eye out for that video. It's either going to drop late tonight or early tomorrow. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on. Next week, we've got some great interviews coming up as well. I'm going to have James Pearce as a guest next week. Look like we're going to have Graham Hunter on next week, Spanish football expert. Let us know what we can expect from Thiago. And a few other bits and pieces that I can't quite tell you about. But don't forget, we're also unveiling Anfield Agenda's newest signing on Monday night as well. You're going to get to see somebody that I think you'll love, somebody with a lot of potential, I think, to really help us push the channel on. So I'll introduce you guys to him on Monday night. I'm not going to give you any more information than that. Yeah, loads of other bits and pieces as well. Jack Gill is going to be coming on as well. Going to be chatting with him on Monday. That'll be pre-recorded. Jack Gill, you might know him from doing some bits and pieces with the Red Men as well. But our relationship with Jack goes back a long time. We did a few bits and pieces with Jack when we started off as well. Lovely fella. Jimenez is a great shout. Jimenez is a wonderful defender, but again, you're talking serious money. Koulibaly, that's not realistic. 100 likes to go, said Andy. We're getting there. What happened to the Ajar links? I've not seen any links in the media. It's more fans saying that we should look towards Ajar, and maybe there's been a couple that I've missed out on. I did say to you guys, I asked a couple of my Celtic supporting mates about him. They said that he's starting to show some consistency, but he's still a bit inconsistent at times. Guests sound great, said Bobby Games. Thank you, mate. We try and get a good mixture on here for you guys. Good news moving forward as well is we're hoping to get ourselves a podcast together as well for next season. My background was in podcasting before I came onto YouTube, so I always wanted to get an Anfield Agenda podcast back together again. Different guests and stuff like that as well. Jimenez again, another shout for Jimenez. Manolas, no, I'll pass on Manolas. He moved not so long ago as well, didn't he? Kanate from Leipzig. I mean, if we're going to Leipzig, I'd like Upamecano personally. But look, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another marathon stream, and nearly an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you so much for your time, for your love, your support. Again, please do jump over and join that Flick Chat group. Link is in the description. It only takes a second to join. I promise you'll love it, or your pretend money back. Also, again, keep an eye out, because if Jota breaks, we'll be on here and I'll be giving you guys the latest on that as well. Thank you for being with us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're all safe. Hope you're all well. Lots of love to each and every one of your families. Thiago's here. Jota looks like he's on the way. What a time to be a Red. Well in Kloppo, well in FSG, well in Michael Edwards. And again, welcome to Liverpool Football Club, to Thiago. Lovely to be with you all. Take care, stay well, and up the motherfucking Reds. Love to each and every one of you.